If you're at all a craft person or a DIYer, you probably have seen a lot of different projects that you can build out of pallets. They're using them for all sorts of things these days, and we've collected a few pallets here. Before you start any project, there's a couple of things you should know, and one is to look and see how that pallet was treated. There's labels on every pallet, and you're looking for something that says HT, and that means that it's been heat treated instead of chemical treated. So if you bring this into your house or whatever you're doing with it, you can see that these are going to be safe and not emit any chemicals. Now these we've collected. The nice thing about pallets is they're fairly easy to collect. You can get a lot of them, and they don't have to be in the best condition. Because there's so many things you can build with them, you can build houses, furniture, and all sorts of things, but I'm not really that great of a carpenter, so today we're going to build a box. Basically, what we've built here is the beginning of a raised bed. We have screwed two sides onto this back wall. Now, if you're going to build a raised bed, you at least need 2 pallets. For this particular kind we're building here, we've used a whole pallet on the back wall, so you're actually going to need 3. One for the back wall, one that we've cut in half to make the 2 sides, and then you're going to need a 3rd pallet that you'll cut in half and you'll use for the front side. The reason we've left this back as a full pallet is so that we can grow vines and different things up along this and use it as a trellis. Now we've simply screwed, we've used 2.5-inch deck screws to screw these sides in, and the only thing we have to do now is raise the front and screw it in also. When you're screwing the pallets together, you want to make sure that you're screwing into the solid 2x4 of the pallet behind it. After we've successfully built a box, we're going to put in some landscape fabric here. And now I a lot of times don't recommend using this, but in this particular situation, it's ideal. It comes in a lot of different widths. Here we've chosen the 4-foot width, so it's nice because that's also the width of the pallet. And what we're going to do is lay this in here like a U shape, and then we're going to repeat that as a U shape here. And so it will help hold that soil in and keep it from coming through the slats in the pallet. The other thing is it will also keep the Bermuda grass from growing up through the bottom of it. Now we're never going to have to dig through this landscape fabric or anything because it will we'll be planting in the soil up above. We're just going to simply staple this in now, and we'll do this all the way through. After lining our box with landscape fabric, it doesn't have to be perfect either. It just needs to be well lined so you can see there's no open spaces or anything. And that'll keep that grass from growing up and also keep that soil from washing out of the slats in the pallets. The next thing that we have to do is we need to go get some soil. We're using a combination of composted soil, potting mix, and also pine bark so that we have a nice loose soil mix to plant in. And now that we've got it filled, we're ready to plant come spring. And so if you're not as good of a carpenter and you can't build a house out of pallets, maybe you can build a house for plants out of pallets.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.